Today we're gonna talk about why you can do things wrong many times and still succeed. And we have part 1. To fail requires a certain mindset. Point number 1. If you have it, change it. And here is how you change it. Every time you see yourself thinking negatively, change it to positive and tell yourself that you cannot think negative any longer than 2 minutes. Over time, your mind will wake up in time. People who fail think negative and they do it by default. They don't even know they do. They unconsciously focus on the worst aspects, on the negative traits of an event or situation. That's bad. It's bad because the more you pay attention to something negative, the worse the outcome will come. The more you will encounter those events, and the more those kinds of events will present themselves. So please, if you see yourself thinking negatively, or in a way where you see yourself as being the victim of something, change it because you're not the victim. Accept the possibility that everything that happens because of you, but understand that you can never be a victim. Never declare yourself the victim. Never declare yourself the one that's been done the wrong. You accept the possibility, but never let yourself dwell more than 2 minutes on something negative. You cannot afford yourself to do that. Your mind will not come up with a proper solution if you think negatively. Give yourself the luxury to think outside the box. You cannot do it thinking negatively. Your mind is wired to think negatively because given the need for survival, it needs to rehearse the enemy, the bad events, so you can stay away from that, because that's not going to bring you survival. This is the whole mechanism. Okay, so the protocol for you to have is every time you see yourself thinking negatively, allow yourself to think, but make sure you have a timer on how long you spend there. And if you have people around you, please remove them. You can only allow yourself 2 minutes of thinking negatively when your mind goes by itself on autopilot. But other than that, don't let it wake up in time. Next time when you see your mind going for the 2 minutes walk in a negative way, just let it wake up and tell to yourself that you let it because you wanted to. Point number 2, the universe is abundant. Count on it. The nature does not waste. Being abundant, it does, but is not considered waste. Regardless of how many things you fucked up, you're still the same person. You're still the same person. And you wasted nothing. Maybe some time, but you couldn't waste any resources, any energy potential, or anything of the mental nature. You cannot waste money. Money is just an attribute. So what did you waste? Nothing. You can say time, you can say valuable things, but it's projection in the end. That's how I see it, because I want to see that I wasted nothing. Everything you went through and everything you so-called fucked up contributed to who you are today. Because in a sense, check this out, nature is abundant. When you see fruits on the floor from a tree next time, remind yourself that nature is abundant and is lavish. There is more food on this globe than people can imagine, but people don't want to work simply. And remember, you cannot eat for tomorrow, you can only eat for today. I want you to understand this. So regardless of your mistakes, even if you wanted to, you cannot fail. There is like a fail-safe mechanism, that's protecting you from the shadow. You cannot fail unless you really, really want to. And again, when you see fruits rotting on the floor or water being wasted or even rain, remind yourself that nature is infinite. Nature is abundant. So the lesson here is think about yourself the same way. You are abundant. You just gotta dig into your mind. Get the fruits out of there. Fruits are your ideas. That's what you have to do. But seek them. So constantly seek for ideas. Constantly seek for ideas. You got loads. And you can be somebody if you put yourself in the position of being somebody just by believing about yourself that you are. So the point here being, you cannot waste. Part 2. If you do bad things on purpose, what happens then? Point number 1. The energy behind your actions matters. If you destroy something in a positive mindset, it will renew in your life with a better replacement. I want you to be clear here. The energy you put behind your actions is paramount. The state in which you do things matters a lot. The energy, the guts, and the strength you put behind your actions will compound and can easily predict what kind of results you will have. So try to understand your energy before you do something. Put yourself into the thing, not just your body, but also your mind and your soul when you try to do something, and you'll do it 100 times better. This is the law. So everything you do from now on, really put yourself and really do that thing with all your body, with all your being. On the flip side, if you do something with a bad energy, that energy will be felt in that thing. It will be felt in that thing. So it's up to you to choose how you're gonna do things from now on. If you want to do something, put yourself and really do that thing Put power and efficiency in everything that you do, and you will get your goal. Number 2, it works with people the same way, just like a joke does, but it has an energy limit. People are energy receivers and transmitters. They react in real time. You can easily notice this dynamic when you talk to people. When you make a joke with a bad energy behind it, that joke is not perceived as a joke, but as an offense. On the other side, if you do a joke with a positive intent behind it, in a positive attitude, in a positive mood, with positive energy, that person will laugh. So you see the power of the intention and the positive or negative energy you put behind all your actions. And this can make people react positively or negatively towards you. I know you know this. It's just the fact that you are not aware of the fact that you know it is what I'm trying to point at. Because if you live today with this idea of the fact that you can really change how you walk through life by changing what kind of energy, what kind of output you trigger in other people, and be aware of this dynamic, then you can change your reality. You can change the degree to which you live. You can change your life. And I'm saying that people react in real time. It's not like you are surrounded by objects you love or despise and you treat them with a certain energy. They can feel it. I know this is crazy to hear, but they can, because everything is energy and energy can be felt. It's just the intensity of it that you can't see. And if you can't see with your 6 senses, then that's invisible and you don't get to believe it. And that's the problem, because there is energy in everything around you and you can't perceive it. So the point here being, look at how you conduct yourself with people around you. What's the intention behind everything you say? What's the idea, the argument? What kind of energy is go behind it? Is it negative, neutral, or positive? And you can change it, change your intention. You can talk less by using the right energy. You can strengthen your energy and diminish your argument. That's the idea I'm trying to get you at. It will require less work when you put the right energy behind it, because you will be so effective that your work will be easy. Point number 3, the metaphysical dynamic. Point number 1, everything works in layers. If you do positive or negative, it compounds. This is my favorite. Everything is built in layers. You cannot jump on the next higher level of your evolution unless you finish everything you have to do at the current level of your evolution. That's the trick you need to understand. You cannot jump straight away to being the person if you don't build yourself to be the person, to have the mentality, the mindset, and the personality, and the actions, and the belief system, and the behavior of that person, unless you build yourself. But this is easy to do. You work in layers. How do you work in layers? It's simple. You do exactly what you have to do with the current things, in the current environment, with the current people you have. And then you transcend on the next one, because the way will be shown itself to you by default when you take the right action and by using all the resources you currently have on the current plane of existence. That's how you transcend yourself. That's how you get to the next level of evolution. And thinking about positive or negative, always be positive. If you do things with a negative energy, if you work in layers with a negative energy, there is like a pyramid, you go up in a positive spiral, or you can also go down in a negative spiral. So it's up to you. If you keep doing things on purpose negatively, because you can't see otherwise, or you can't afford yourself, so you see positively, then that's the problem. You will go down slowly, but there will be multiple events, multiple layers you're gonna pass through, right? You're gonna lose your job, your car, your woman, and so on. There's loads of people who do it, because as crazy as it is, you're losing stuff or somebody losing stuff. The universe will give you warnings. You gotta pay close attention to them. You gotta set yourself down, do nothing, become inactive, and take your attention off everything negative. And this is how you reset yourself. And then you start building from the ground level, from the level you're at. For example, you've been kicked by the universe or given you a sign by losing a few key customers, and you went down here. And this is a sign. You will need to see it. This is the effect of you thinking in a negative way. So what you have to do is pinpoint where you thought negatively about something, and from there you scale up and you go back up where you've been, and probably you will surpass that level, which is the ideal scenario. And again, the point here being, everything compounds, either negative or positive. On the way to jump on the next layer, the way will be there, either going up or going down, because the universe will constantly tell you what you have to do. You will just have to pay close attention. It will nudge you in the right direction. If you don't listen to the warnings and you keep doing despite the warnings, the contrary, and you will have a chance to go faster through the layers and lose more. This is the metaphysical part of life. Everything is built in layers, and miracles are simple jumping over multiple layers. And you do that by changing your beliefs, by becoming non-reactive, and start being a passive observer. That's your key to this, to synchronicities and so-called miracles. And again, you must have no regard for what people think about you in this process. If there is chaos around you, let people struggle, let people wonder how to to get out of it, while you know deep inside yourself that you're doing the right thing and everything will pass. Just like the King Solomon's ring, there was an inscription on the ring and he said, "This too shall pass," or something. So remind yourself about this power. Point number 2, if you try to fail on purpose, you will succeed faster because you use your logical mind to destroy. And it works because your logical mind sees the cause and the effects with the 5 senses. The metaphysical is the science that deals with the unseen. But your logical mind can easily destroy stuff, especially the material stuff. It has a hard time changing the feelings because it's out of its control, but it can nonetheless contribute and create a conflict or some kind of dissonance in the feelings. And these feelings are the ones that change the layers of your evolution. But don't let yourself derail by this concept because it can be used for positive and changing your life towards the better, right? So now you see why it's easier to destroy than to create with your logical mind. You can easily foresee an effect for any cause. If you destroy something, if you destroy your phone, for example, that's clearly visible. You can actually get the hammer and do it, get it done in a few seconds. Your mind can see that, but your mind cannot see is how can you provide value to get yourself a new phone. That's the trick. That's metaphysics. Do you understand the difference here? Do you understand what I'm asking you to see? I'm asking you to see energy, the energy of your thinking, of your thought, and how that can shape your reality, how you can use that and know your hands to work. That's the trick you need to understand, to notice and comprehend. So if you want to fail, you will fail faster when you do it on purpose. Yeah, duh, that's easier. Of course it is. But if you want to succeed, why is it hard? It's because of your mind. Your mind runs by scripts. He wants things to happen in a certain order. That's where it fucks up, because he cannot see all the synchronicities, all the things he cannot control. That's why it's harder to control success. But you need to remind yourself that what one can do, you can also do. If this is your key, then it makes sense to dream even further than that and be the one that people look up to. That's the trick. Number 3, when you create too much disorder in your body or around you, something will restore equilibrium in your sphere by negative or positive means to destroy the imbalance. When you give too much meaning to something, that becomes extremely important to you, and you have the possibility of failure when you create expectations. When you abuse something, like playing a game or going to the gym too much and you don't take breaks or something, you create too much tension. The universe is an orderly system. It runs by some hidden laws and it runs by the law of harmony. When you step over these laws, the universe will balance itself out. The tension will seek resolution, just like water seeks the easiest path and down to the ocean. And so when you create too much excess in something you do on and on, these laws of the universe will restore equilibrium, will restore the balance, and they will do it through direct means. Some means are pleasurable, some means not really. Because depending on the potential you create, the resolution can be positive or negative. I want you to understand this. If you have a desire, that's your tension. The resolution is the fulfillment of your desire. Just like Neville Goddard said. If you abuse yourself in a way, that's too much tension. The resolution will be your knockout by life, by some event or something that's going to ask you to take a forced break, and you will get it because there will be no other way. And if we're dealing with these forces, it's down to us to obey them. This is the only way we can control them, and it's easier than you think. First of all, what you have to do is to become a detached observer. That's the first thing you have to do. That's how you change your reality. You become a detached observer. Treat everything around you as a mere play. You will see reality shifting for you. You'll become from a negative, a positive person. But again, you'll understand the first principle we talk here. Everything works in layers. And so if everything works in layers, don't expect overnight results. They will come. They will be there, but the change is a bit slow on this plane, especially when you try to change from negative to positive, because we're dealing with some kind of inertia in this metaphysical domain. And what I'm saying here precisely is that all your life you've been thinking negatively, now you want to think positively. It's going to be a bit hard, but it's not impossible. You just got to take it slowly. You got to build up the layers. That's your duty. That's your mission from now on. But regardless of your spectrum of negative, positive dynamic in your life, I'll teach you how to raise your vibration, how to change your life properly. Here is what you do. Treat everything in your life as being positive, even the negative events. If you have a flat tire, that's a positive thing. If you break your phone, that's even better. See everything like that. Go through life and see things in a positive light. Work by the compensation, which is the coin of the universe, and how things run. You gain something and you lose something else. You might see you're knocked off by some kind of illness or cold or something, but that's not something you have to worry about. See it as a positive thing. Now you have time to reflect. You can choose a new direction for your life. If you have a flat tire, you can call a friend. You can go out with them, have a coffee, have a chat, talk about life, you know? And a new solution, a new direction can emerge from this event. That's how I see it. It's much better than it seems when you see a seemingly bad event. Just accept it and be grateful for it, man. You got the power to go over that event. Some people go down with it. You don't do this. You see it as a positive thing in your life. That's what you must do from now on. That's your direction. That's your magic. That's your power. This is the secret in the metaphysical dynamic. See everything in a positive light. Everything is transformation. Even the worst outcomes. Crazy. Mad. It works. Right? I'm done here. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.